I'm Simran Choudhary. I am an actor and a model. Now, some of you may know me from my time as Miss Telangana at my Miss India pageant, and some of you may know me from my time in Tollywood. Yes, I am the chai banana atta girl. So, before any of you ask me, na kochu, ni kocha? Now, show of hands, how many of you got that reference? I see that table. Yeah, a lot of movie viewers in the audience, I see. Okay, another question. I'm curious. How many of you have wanted to or still want to be a part of the industry in some capacity? Okay, so the rest of you are all liars, huh? Because if I guess right, I know there's a little enigma that comes with my industry, and everybody wants to be a part of it in some way. So, how do you get into this industry? How did I get into this industry? Well, for me, it started with my first love, which was dance. At a very young age, my mother recognized my love for dancing. You know, imagine a 3-year-old dancing in front of a TV set to a filmy song. Yes, so as I was saying, I was that 3-year-old dancing in front of a TV set. So my mother, she got me enrolled in Kuchipudi lessons and then Bharatnatyam. I did a lot of live performances, a lot of stage shows. Long story short, I learned classical dancing for over 10 years. I then moved on to a Western dance school. And as luck would have it, my instructor there knew a few people in the industry. So I auditioned for it, and I got the gig. Now, this was the first time I was in front of a camera. And I wasn't nervous. I genuinely enjoyed every bit of it. That piqued my curiosity. And I knew that I enjoyed entertaining and expressing, and it brought me joy through my live performances and stage shows. But acting was a completely different, exhilarating feeling. It allowed me to step out of my shoes and don a completely different avatar. And that to me was so exciting. And with every project that I did, it's a new story, it's a new team, and I get to be someone completely different. So I said, okay, this is interesting. And from then, every project that I did cemented my decision of wanting to be an actor even more. Okay, so my mother always jokes about how I hate being in the sun. Like, it'll make me angry and grumpy and restless. And trust me, you don't want to meet me when I'm in the sun. But when I'm on set, you'll rarely ever find me complain about the heat or the lights. And that's how my mother knew that I had found my calling. All of that said and done, my parents also wanted to make sure that I had a normal childhood. And they wanted to make sure I had an education before they allowed me to be a part of acting full time. Lucky for me, I loved studying. And if it wasn't for the acting bug, I would probably be nose deep in a book somewhere, preparing for maybe a competitive exam. So, during my 10th grade, I received an offer to be in a film called Varudu. Now, who was the lead actor, you ask? None other than stylish star Allu Arjun, sir. I got super excited. I told my parents I wanted to do this. And I promised them, I told them that I will do whatever it takes to make up for lost study time, because it was my 10th grade, and we all know how difficult board exams can be, right? So my parents agreed, and I took up the offer. I remember I would attend school all day and then head straight to Ramoji Film City, which is where we were shooting, to shoot all night. I would catch up on sleep during commute. I would carry my books with me so I could go on set and study. I remember there was an ongoing joke. I would always go to sets in my school uniform. And to this day, the entire team and Allu Arjun sir still makes fun of that. But I was all of 14. And I was content, I was happy. Because I put in the work, I was seeing results. And a mild flex coming your way, I also topped school that year. So, I thought, okay, this is it, this is lovely, this is how it should be. Little did I know that the years to come wouldn't be as rosy. So if this was a picture, this would probably be the twist before the interval. Now, I had decided that acting was my passion. So I had to do something to get into the industry. Like, I knew that I had done a film here or there, but I still didn't know the cream of the industry. How do you do that? And that's how I landed on pageantry. I participated in a couple of regional pageants and I won them, the ones that my friend here mentioned in my introduction. And a director spotted me during one of those pageants, and he insisted that I be the main lead in his film. Now, my parents weren't entirely convinced because I was very young at the time and they didn't know if I was ready for my debut. But the director persisted and he said, I want her in my film. It was also a way for us to know as a family whether I could pull off a full-length film, or if this was just me chasing a pipe dream. So we decided to do the film. The film took a long time to release for whatever reasons. But at least through the process of filmmaking, my family and I realized that this is what I was going to do, and this is where I belong. Later, like I mentioned, my parents also wanted me to, of course, study. So I performed academically, and I graduated. I graduated from college, and my father, for some reason, he thought that I should maybe explore other options. Because growing up also, I was thinking I'll just be an actor. He was like, try other things, maybe you'll find something you like. So then I applied for a job. And I worked as a recruiter, as a recruiter at a corporate firm for over a year. Now, mind you, I had the most amazing time while I was there. I met some amazing friends, and they're still my friends to this day. But I realized this is not my kind of environment because I'm a very filmy person. Like, it needs to be exciting every day. And a desk job wouldn't cut it. So I decided, okay, this is not what I want to do. And the movies is where I belong. So I quit my job. And I went on to the next best or next big thing that I eventually knew I would be a part of because I had also come of age at the time. Miss India. Now, again, I remember growing up. I think there was this one show that came on Zoom. I forget the name. I think it was Miss India. It was like a series. And my mother always used to tell me that, Beta, I want to see you be a Miss World someday. So it was as much her dream as it was mine. So in 2017, I won Miss Telangana and I went on to represent my state at the Miss India Nationals. I did not win the pageant. But what hurt even more is that I did not even make it to top 12, which is when you get a chance to speak on stage, where you can interact, and you have a Q&A session, so you get like that spotlight on national TV. I didn't get that. But what I did gain was an experience of a lifetime. The resilience to bounce back no matter what. And the knowledge that only you can decide your worth. And I told myself, this is not how my story is ending. Picture abhi baki hai. So I came back to Hyderabad and I wanted to be an actor. So I started auditioning for ads, for movies, for different kind of projects. It was around that time that I learned Pelli Chuplu director Tarun Bhaskar was casting for his next film. So I reached out to him, I got in touch with him, I auditioned for the part and I got it. My first proper, well thought out debut, Ee Nagrani Ki Ye Maindi. And I'm so grateful for that film because most of you know me because of that film. Now, shooting for Ee Nagrani Ki Ye Maindi was a breeze. It was so organic, so real, and you'll all know why I'm saying this if you've seen the film. Now, the film released to a very good reception. Everybody loved the film. So I sat back and I'm like, Acha, now I'm going to get a lot of offers because I have a hit at my hands. But to my shocking surprise, I did not. Now, I did not understand where I was going wrong because I did the homework, I auditioned for the right part, I did it, I got the gig. What was not working out? So I waited. I waited patiently whilst also making sure that I was doing modeling assignments on the side because I wanted to maintain a consistent source of income. And I'm sure as young professionals and students, you all understand the difference between a salary and a pocket money and the freedom that, financial independence comes with. But the waiting was killing me. I went from being busy 16 hours a day to now just sitting and waiting at home, waiting for someone to get back to me, to respond, to give me feedback of whether I had gotten the gig or not. And that, I am not a very patient person, guys. I did not enjoy the wait. So I said, okay, I have to do something. So I packed my bags and I went to Bombay again. Luckily for me, I knew a few people in Mumbai, thanks to my Miss India people. So they put me through to a few casting directors, a few casting coordinators, and I auditioned. So this is how a typical day in Bombay of mine looked like back then. I'd wake up, I'd get ready, I would schedule my appointments, I would go audition for 5 or 6 projects a day, and then come back to a very empty house. Like I said, my family and I are very thick. But in Bombay, I was alone. And for every 100 auditions that I gave, you would get 1 gig. And it wasn't like it was your dream job, huh? You just had to do it because you wanted to pay your rent. And like I mentioned, financial independence matters to me. My parents would have gladly paid for the expenses, but I wanted to make sure I was taking care of myself. So, also another thing about Bombay. Mumbai is a very fast-paced city. And if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have work in a city like Mumbai, you will get lost. And all of the rejection will give way to self-doubt, self-sabotage. And I'm an overthinker as is, so I can be my worst enemy. All of that messed up my mental health. And I think my mom realized that, she noticed that. And on my mom's insistence, I came back to Hyderabad. And I realized, we all have those days, those bad days that we say. But that's the thing. A day, no matter how bad it is, it can only have 24 hours, and the day has to end at some point. So next day is another chance for you to reset and chase your dreams. So that's what I did when I returned to Hyderabad. I reset. I started from scratch again, auditions, ads, the works. But I also made sure I was staying in touch with the contacts that I made in Mumbai. And finally my perseverance paid off. And today, actually in the last 3 years, I've had 4 releases, touch wood, and a lot more people know of me outside and inside the industry. I'm very grateful and fortunate to have worked with the people that I have worked with. Yes, and it's been very rewarding so far. That said, there have also been projects, there have also been experiences that have burnt me more than they've built me. But I chose to think of them as experiences. I learned from them and I moved on. Now, one thing that I learned about this industry is nothing is guaranteed. You need to have ultimate love for your craft. You need to feel the need to hone your craft, utmost faith in your dreams, and the will to keep swimming, especially when things don't go your way. So to conclude, I think I've made it into the industry. I've not made it in the industry, not yet. There's still a lot of work to do. If I had to condense my experiences down to a few parting thoughts that you guys can reflect on, it would be these. Now, these are they can be restrictive to unconventional career options like mine, which is acting, but I'll try and draw a parallel for those of you who want to maybe pursue something that's more formal. Now, first, work hard and be patient. It took a lot of learning, but I think I'm a lot more patient than I was. Because opportunities will come, and you have to make the best of them. Do the best on things that are in your control and forget about the rest, because it's not in your control, right? Because it is just that one chance that can change things for you. Pretty much like job interviews. You interview with a lot of companies, and then eventually that one company will hire you, and it's all hunky-dory after that. So work hard and be patient. Second, stay relevant. stay informed, and strike when the iron's hot. Now you have to make sure that you're on the minds of the right people, people who are making the decisions. So you have to make sure that you're reaching out to them, you're knocking on those doors, so they know that you exist and you're ready. And last, have a life outside your career. I can't stress on this point enough, because our careers can consume us. They can take up so much of our time, of our lives, that it can sometimes be detrimental. And our professions can get competitive, it can get lonely, you have to make sacrifices. So make sure that you have a family, friends, work on building a tribe that you can fall back on, so you have someone on those bad days. Because trust me, we will all have them. So yeah, how many of you now still want to be in the industry? Ooh, oh my God, I did not expect that to happen, you guys. But thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor speaking in front of these esteemed people and all of you sharing my story. And I hope you all had as much fun as I did. Have a good day.